Our adaptation as an organization, for me, is about being our most authentic self and meeting people exactly where they're at.
We will meet you where you're at and provide you with resources that match what you need. And I think that our sweet spot as an intermediary is that we are focused on equity and we're focused on an equitable approach to resource navigation.
So as we think about our role as intermediaries, part of it is rooted in this principle around equitable access.
MCR really looks at access on two main fronts. I think one issue we hear from folks a lot is that they just don't know what's out there. They don't know what resources are available. They don't know who to go to for what. And so never taking for granted that people know what's available to them.
We provide a lot of clarity around that by, one, doing the research to find the opportunities for them so that they don't have to spend the time and capacity that is already limited to find those resources. And then two, by providing some of that technical assistance around grant writing, storytelling, and navigating grant applications in general.
Part of navigating resources is understanding resources. And part of understanding resources is the ability to have boots on the ground, people who care, people who understand, people who are willing to have the conversation, come back and have an additional conversation.
And then the second level is, even if you know what's out there, are you able to get access to that institution, to that place, to that person, and sometimes to that funder?
So access is the idea of bringing philanthropy and foundations closer to the grassroots organizations that they're working with so that they understand what the needs are in the community.
I think we're really in a privileged position that we have such a vast network of relationships, both on the ground with community groups and with philanthropy over our 25-year history. And so that lets us really bridge the gap between the two.
It's about maintaining that impartial stance and, coming to a community member, saying that you're not a funder, you're a nonprofit like they are, and coming to the conversation with that lens helps them open up a lot more and talk a lot more authentically and openly about the challenges that they're having in their programming.
I think that access sometimes is just getting face-to-face time for nonprofits with foundations, service providers, consultants, so that they don't have to try to explain the depth of their work and the intricacies of their work via a sheet of paper.
This sector needs a much more interconnected focus. I mean, we can not as one organization solve all the issues of nonprofits and community-based organizations alone. It necessitates that we're thinking about creative partnerships, ensuring that we're locking arms with our partners, locking arms with philanthropy, locking arms with city government, just thinking about ways in which we can broker all of these relationships for the benefit of the sector writ large.